Welcome back. This is Chili Davis, and I'm back to another video. I'd like to welcome back all the subscribers and all my new viewers. This is a channel where I talk about my top stocks. I'll talk about crypto from time to time. If you're new, please click the subscribe button and click the notification bell for my frequent updates. Well, today was the continuing of the big tech earnings call. So this week we had Amazon, Apple, and a few others report. We had SoFi earlier in the week, but we had Amazon report. Shares after the earnings call got the stock going up 6.85%. I think a high of 7%. Microsoft shares on Friday was up as much as 1.92%, and there's possible news of a stock split coming. Also, Nvidia shares, the AI, artificial intelligence stock was up 2.77%, and Marvel Technology was up 6.45%. So those were my top stocks. Keep in mind, I think we do still have Microsoft to report. Like I said, we had Amazon, Meta, and SoFi report earlier in the week. News going on is Boeing is still having a strike. The machinists will not go back to work. And so Boeing is still under pressure, the stock, even after the company sweetens the deal. We have Deepwater Gene Monster talking about Apple after earnings. I think the stock did sell off on yesterday or Thursday. We had ConocoPhillips was up 5.56. Twilio shares, a cloud stock, was up 16%. International Paper was up 13.65. And and Walmart shares was up 1.14 on Thursday. So those were some interesting stocks this week. Again, it is still earnings season. I believe we have Microsoft set to report next week in terms of revenue, how much they did for the last 3 months, and how much they projected to do in revenue for the next quarter, where analysts from Wall Street get to, see if their numbers make their estimates or exceed their expectations. Okay. So let's go over to the news. Okay, here we are on CNBC with the news. Dow closes nearly 300 points higher to begin November as investors shake off a weak jobs report. Remember, we have the election on Tuesday. So both candidates, Harris and Trump, are making their final cases to the American public. Other news, Berkshire Hathaway cash-in fortress tops $300 billion as Warren Buffett sells more stock and freezes buybacks. Okay. Harris defends CHIP Act after White House Speaker suggests GOP would try to repeal new law. Okay, companies brace for Tuesday mention of election surge on earnings conferences. Nvidia to join the Dow Jones Industrial. So if you invest in any of the ETFs that lean toward the Dow Jones Industrial, a big portion of that will be Nvidia stock pretty soon. Okay. So, just like people, stocks join the S&P 500. I think Tesla did join a few years ago, and I think Palantir joined the S&P index probably about a month ago. Basically, it becomes a big portfolio of money managers. So one way to invest is just invest in the ETFs such as VTI, VOO, or VGT, Vanguard Technology, Vanguard Standard portfolio, and Vanguard OO or Vanguard S&P 500 fund. Those are some great funds so that you can get a portion of the gains in stocks like Nvidia and Apple. Okay. TGI Friday operator files for bankruptcy. amid financial woes, and Google employees pressure custom execs at all hands meet for clarity on cost cuts. Okay, so that was the news. Let's go over to the Robinhood portfolio I have. Okay, just take a big look on year 2024 as the year is coming to a close as we reach November. The portfolio has gained a little over 22% on the year. Okay, so that's how well this portfolio is done. And I even looked at an all-time. If we look at when I started this portfolio back in 2021, not bad. Back in November of 2021, I started this portfolio, and I think we hit the bottom somewhere around January 2022, and then this portfolio began to take off. Okay, I would say the likes of that is mostly Nvidia, Facebook, Google, Amazon. Some of these heavyweight mega cap stocks are living in this portfolio, carrying it for an all-time gain of 11.32%, but also a gain of 22% over the last year. Well, let me see. Oh, okay. Over the last year, 42% gains. Okay. And again, a lot of that being Meta, Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Google, and of course, my favorite, Nvidia. Those are the type stocks that move the market, and I carry them in this portfolio. Also, we know Uber has doubled or so in the last year from a share price of $35. Let's take a look at Uber really quickly. Uber has done really well since the CEO took over from the founder. Uber shares have gone up significantly from a $35 stock to over 70 something dollars. So Uber is one of those companies that were IPO or in private investing for a while. Okay, as I mentioned, Uber has done quite well, up 61% in the last year. I think I've been involved in the stock since its lower price, but if we look at Uber, I'm up 50%. Let's see, last 5 years. I'm sure his stock is up quite a bit. Okay, so since the stock IPO'd a few years ago in 2023 or 2022, the stock is up 122%. Okay, so a great stock that was in the private market for quite a while finally went public, and it did struggle in the first few years. If we look at 2021, 2022, and then going into 2023, it started to pick up $30, $39. But today has a share price of $73. Okay. So stocks have been doing overall good in my portfolio. I have a lot of mega tech in there. And since all the mega tech is up, this portfolio is up as well. So let's close with my Charles Schwab portfolio. Okay, as I mentioned, it was earnings call this week. Amazon did report earnings. Share price went up 6.19% for a gain of $115 on the day. Also, we mentioned that Nvidia will be added to the Dow and Jones index. So that stock did jump up a little bit on Friday for a gain of 1.99%. Also, Microsoft shares were up almost 1%, and Marvel Technologies were up 5.82. Okta, another technology, was up 1.86, and Twilio shares were up, and Palantir Technologies as well. So some great stocks on Friday to close the week. Not a lot of some of the big names like SoFi and Tesla, but Amazon leading the way, Microsoft leading the way, and Nvidia, which has been forever good in the last 2 years, stock up. If and since I've owned it, I'm up 982%. Okay. Just real quick, let's look at the losers. You could have picked up SoFi. SoFi shares were slightly down today, 1.16%. They had earnings on Tuesday. They did a great job. The CEO, Anthony Noto, talked about the stock. Stock price before earnings was hovering around $8 per share. Going into earnings, it started to pick up last week, and today is trading well over $11 per share after the great news on Tuesday. Also, Tesla shares cooling off after earnings as well, down slightly, 0.33%. Advanced Market Devices down slightly, 1.53%, and Apple did disappoint on earnings, but only down 1.33%. So that's the news. Top stock this week, closing out, was Amazon, up 6.19%, and also Nvidia shares up slightly, 1.99%, after news of being added to the Dow. So I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, and I hope to see you in the next video.